This is 1904 building. It's called the Dugan Stuart building. Run to a roof, and then they get up here and they tag the wall. And they were getting in here. Here you can see that these steel columns and all have been put in here subsequently because the concrete somewhat deteriorated, and there was some fear of failure there.
When this building was erected, there weren't many modern buildings downtown, and there was a need for office space.
The Dugan Stuart building was built as a doctor's office in 1904 during the most colorful time in Hot Springs. Gangsters started coming here around that time because it was a safe haven for them.
Al Capone actually got started coming to Hot Springs because of John Torrio.
Right here, this one has Al Capone's nom du spa on it. He was a visitor down here, and he used an alias. He didn't use his real name while he was in Hot Springs. What did he use? Rip Collins is what most people think was the name that he used.
John Torrio was the head mobster in Chicago. Torrio and his wife visited Hot Springs. At that time, they stayed at the old Eastman Hotel, which no longer exists, but at that time it was the largest hotel in the South. It had over 500 rooms. They had a loud party in the Eastman Hotel, and the manager and owner told them, said, we like your business, but you're a little too rough for our crowd, and don't come back. Well, they had just built the Arlington Hotel, the one that is over there now. It opened, I believe, in 1926, and they started staying in one on the 4th floor of the Arlington, and Capone would always stay in the same suite on the 4th floor, the one that looks out and down Central Avenue. And they behaved themselves over there. I guess they was afraid they'd get thrown out of that hotel. He loved going to the little amusement park, which was up Fountain Street beside the Arlington Hotel. They had a little carnival thing. You could ride donkeys, and you could sit on a bull, and they had a shooting gallery and things like that, and Capone liked that. The gang would come here on vacation. The first thing they'd do is they'd go to the police department and say, hey guys, we're in town, we're here on vacation, and we want to contribute to the Policeman's Benevolent Fund while we're here, and they'd say, well, you guys are welcome, just don't cause any trouble. The mayor sometimes be invited to a dinner over at the Arlington with them. He would go and he'd get up and make this little speech, and he'd say that it's nice to have you fellows down here from Chicago, and we hope you have a good time. Go out to the lakes, fish, go out to our golf links, and enjoy yourselves. Some of them weren't very good golfers. Capone wasn't a good golfer. And one of the caddies made the remark to them that he didn't think he was a very good golfer, and this guy beat him up. Well, he went in town and swore out a warrant for him. They brought him before Judge Ledgerwood, and the gang didn't want any problems while they were here. They were here on vacation. And so the mobster found out that instead of them charging him with assault and battery, that they had marked on the docket that he was being charged for stealing chickens. Well, there wasn't any way he was going to go back to Chicago with that on the docket, and so he paid quite a bit of money to get them to change that docket. The tunnel was the original sewer for the city of Hot Springs. The sewer, it used to smell terrible. When I was young, a bunch of us went all the way from the opening down at by the old Missouri Pacific Depot, all the way up to Whittington Avenue, where you can see it today. Why would Al Capone, with $300 alligator shoes and $500 suits, and that was back then, walk across under, why? And risk falling, breaking a leg or ankle? And he had the police department in his pocket, nobody, and he had 5 or 6 bodyguards around him all the time, and never had any trouble.